Can you tell me where my country lies? Said the uniform to his true love's eyes. It lies with me, cried the Queen of Maybe. For her merchandise, he traded in his prize. Paper late, cried a voice in the crowd. Old man dies, the note he left was signed Old Father Thames. It seems he's drowned, selling England by the pound.
Citizens of hope and glory, time goes by, it's the time of your life. Easy now, sit you down, chewing through your wimpy dreams, please, without a sound. Digesting England by the pound.
Young man says,
You are what you eat well. Old man says you are what you wear, well. You are what you are, you don't give a damn. Bursting about that is your homemade shell. Dancing out with the moon at night, Knights of the green shield stamp and shout. There's a fat old lady outside the saloon, taking out a credit card, she plays for you. Right from the start. With a hobby horse, I'll play the fool, we'll tease the ball. Out and round, to the twist of the world we go. To the holiest call, dancing out with the moon at night. Knights of the green shield stamp and shout. That was Genesis there, back in the 1970s, when Genesis consisted of both Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel. And the track was entitled Dancing Out with the Moonlit Night, which is a great segue into, well, welcome to Nightclub. And what happens at Nightclub stays at Nightclub. So if you just clock in on, you just punch in your card and you're just flashing up the old night drive. Join me, Marco, here at Britannia Broadcasting, where we present for your distraction the Oddcast. Here, serving you since 2002. Just because it rhymes. So yeah, this is my Britannian Armour Mark 17, and I've stripped it back, as you can see. Britannia Fair, BRB, as you can see, Britannia Fair, I've done away with half the headdress, which was of course this half a headdress, this to give away all my trade secrets. This is a Thor helmet, that is a Roman centurion helmet, and combining the two, for a long while Lady B has been decked out in a winged helm with a crest, which is totally valid. But I realise, like with a lot of things, but especially Lego, you can have a tendency, I can have a tendency to overbuild, make something perfect, and then add a whole bunch of extra shit that makes it less perfect. And then take a step back and go, okay, it's an overbuild, take off a couple of these bits, and you get back to perfect. So Lady B here, in the vanilla, well, red, silver and blue, I'm working on the white, Tipex Joe. Okay, but she's back without the face mask, and obviously the face plate here is something else, isn't it? This face plate in gold and silver and blood. I hope you've already met Marcus Audacious. We who are about to die salute you. Hail Caesar! So I've done away with the winged helm and paired Lady B back to the vanilla centurion helmet. And I'm pleased with the progress. What we need now is a really gnarly shield, and it's pretty clear to me that I have to move on to the breastplate now, because the breastplate is arguably the single most important piece of armour on a woman, because the breastplate covers your heart. So, yeah, I'm looking for models, life models. Anybody out there with a pair of boobs of any description, shape or size, it really doesn't matter, because I intend to make the breastplate big enough to accommodate the biggest and yet snug enough to accommodate the smallest. It really doesn't matter about your breast size. I just need a model to weigh up a breastplate on. I mean, more importantly, to wear the helmet, to model the helmet, and the various variations of helmet I've been cycling around in this place for months now. But there she is, Lady B. Mark 17 armour. It's such a line, isn't it? I'm looking for life models. I can hear the shit that comes out of my head sometimes, and it's so cheesy, so cliche. So speaking of cliches, I was talking to a female married friend of mine, and she's a good friend. And I said to her, yeah, have you got any single mates? Because obviously I can't pluck up the courage or have the gumption to conduct a sordid and torrid affair with my married female friend. Neither would I expect her to drop everything and risk everything for one night in heaven, one night in heaven, you know? So that's off the table. So I said to her, have you got any single mates? And she said, no. She said, no, Mark, they're all married. And I said, all lesbian? And she laughed. I said, yeah, they're either all married or lesbian. And so I said, oh, so that's great. What does that leave me with? On the shit heap at the tail end of 40, single and ready to mingle. That leaves me with how many options? Option number A, good old number A. Option number A, make another man a cuckold and have an affair, become a home wrecker. You know, I'm a child of adultery. I'm a product of it. My psychology is the product of a divorce, and I swore I'd never be that guy. I never considered it up until recently, when faced with how thin on the ground available women in their 40s are. Which left me with option number B. Well, option number A was have an affair, and option number B was chase around 30-somethings, but 30-somethings also tend to be married off. If you're going to get married, you're going to get married in your 20s, aren't you? Right, so option number C. Option number B is chase 30-year-olds around. But option number A. I'd end up having to have an affair. Option number A, back to square one, not going to do it. I identify as a knight. It's morally wrong. I'm not going to have an affair. Which leaves me with option number 3. Good old option number 3. Which is chase around 20-something-year-old skirt. Because it's single. I mean, could you get any more cliched than a silver fox sniffing around university students? Could you get any more cliche? Could I be any more of a cliche with a 20-something fiance half my age? It's so cliche. Well, I guess option number D is to remain how I am, which is virtually a Shaolin monk, a vegetarian, celibate, pacifistic Shaolin monk. And I'm not a monk, nor would I ever want to be. Again, I've done my time, my vow of silence, my training. My path to enlightenment was lit up like a Christmas tree 25 years ago. So I'm not a monk. So am I not not entitled, but is it not, am I not meant to have a partner? I tell you what, the hours I operate, it's going to be interesting for whoever wants to take me on. But, yeah, it's a bit of a shit, really. As if I didn't feel predatorial enough. Trying to talk to 40-somethings, married 40-somethings, let alone be the one to instigate a conversation with a university student. Well, I mean, I can instigate a conversation, but there's no way on God's green earth I'm ever asking for digits or deets. My God. I've got, I know a whole bunch of people in my village now, after a year-long charm offensive campaign. And this time last year, when I arrived back in South Ockenden from the East End of London due to the DIVORCE, I took it upon myself to become the drill sergeant of South Ockenden. And on my charm offensive, which doubled as a recruitment drive for the Army, Navy and Air Force, I assigned her and her girlfriend 00 numbers. We took their birth month. I think, I can't remember what Trouble's birth month was. I call her Trouble because she's my jailbait mate. I call her my jailbait mate. And she was saying to me a couple of days ago how when she asks a random for a cigarette, they always ask her for her socials and that they were clearly paedophiles. And I said to her, Trouble, I said, Trouble, I'll stop you there, girl. I said, don't be asking randoms for no cigarette. I said, you're fearless, T. I said, and that will get you into so much bother. Because she is fearless. She's a fearsome LGBTQ plus warrior who's brave enough to talk to a dickhead like me, who was stupid enough to try and recruit her for the Royal Navy with the immortal lines, torpedoes away. There ain't no other walk of life, there ain't no other job on earth, ladies, where you'll get to say those immortal words. If you sign up to His Majesty King Charles III's Royal Navy, then one day you may find yourself on the bridge of a submarine, given the duty to issue the order to fire torpedoes when ready. And a year later, lover, she's got some blue hair, some cool, funky, like, looks like she's cut it herself, but I don't think she has. That's the trend, isn't it? A Dennis the Menace style. And a couple of days ago, she said that she'd split with her girlfriend of a year, of 11 months, which funnily enough puts her going out with her girlfriend, just starting to go out with her girlfriend, when I first met them both on a bench down the Derwent Parade, big shops in South Africa. And she's a good kid. She's really whip smart. Doesn't want to be straight. Fearsome about not wanting to be straight. So refuses to be pigeonholed. And yeah, my jailbait mate. It's funny, isn't it? I go, you alright, Trouble? She goes, Mark, get your nunchucks out. I go, you alright, Trouble? So she tapped me up for a fag, and I give her a fag. And we all agreed, we both agreed, she was with her mate. And we all agreed that nicotine was our best pal. And so in that sort of nicotine club, and she's a nicotine bobber, you know? Is our Trouble. She's a nicotine bobber. And she said, she did say she's quite hardcore. I'm assuming she's like 18 now, 17, 18. But she's quite hardcore because she said she started on the nicotine by smoking. And then she moved on to vaping. And a vape lasts for weeks, which is a good sign. But I said to her, well, there you go, you know, it's like, that is hardcore. To start on dirty, stinking, horrible cigarettes, which are far from cool, instead of the gateway drug presented in a vape that can only lead on to the harder smoking of tobacco products. But she did it the right way round. She started by smoking nicotine in tobacco and moved on to administering nicotine via vape. You know, speaking of witches, jailbait, mate. Oh dear. Plus she's really cool. And I wish her, you know, all the luck in the world, because she could do better than her girlfriend. I didn't tell her that, I haven't told her that. But I will next time I see her. Unless she's going back out of her. All I ever see the pair do is bicker. When they were out, bickering with each other. You could have guessed that they were going out. And not just busy mates sat on a bench. She's a good egg. And there aren't enough of them in this village. And now I know the exact song we have to put on. Don't you? Is it not obvious what song gets put on next? Or have I got an innate ability as a DJ? Oh, Betty! The cat's done a whoopsie in my berry, Betty! Jessica! Jessica! Your nan would have loved you, Jessica. My mother told me It's a song by the Undertones. Pretty bloody obvious what tune I'm about to put on. And this one's for all my jailbait mates. Sounds off probably. Yeah. Sounds off. Sounds down. Because I turn the sound down for Genesis, right? So, hold that thought. This one is for all of my jailbait mates. It's the Undertones and Teenage Kicks. And get teenage kicks right through the night. Well, come on! I wanna hold you tight and get teenage kicks right through the night. Oh, come on! Come on! I've seen extremes so hard to beat. Every time she walks down the street, another girl in the neighborhood wishes mine. She looks so good. I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night. I'm gonna call her on the telephone. Never alone, 'cause I'm all alone. I need excitement, all I need is fire. And it's the best I've ever had. I wanna hold you tight. That teenage kicks right through the night. Where I am. Hold you tight, get teenage kicks right through the night. Well, come on! Yeah, true. And this is Katy. Poor old Katy Perry. She goes up into space with whatever Russell Brand give her.
Living
Yeah, let's discuss poor Katy Perry. Now, I thought that publicity stunt up into space set feminism back 100 years. IMHO, 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 how, IMHO. In my humble opinion, it was no more than a stunt. And you look at the lovely Katy Perry, and if you know anything about Katy, you know that she was raised a staunch Christian. And it's in that knowledge that I feel really, really sorry for her. Because that filthy, dirty, evil ex-husband of hers, Russell Brand, with his namaste and his hands and his bookie whooped the cunt, excuse my French. A dirty, dirty bastard. Tricked her into marrying him. Conned her into giving herself up to him, and took her like a rapist. That Russell Brand, if I ever catch him at West Ham, if I ever catch that Russell Brand at West Ham, I'm going to peel him like a plum tomato. I never liked that Russell Brand from the fucking get-go. He looked like a skaghead, which is what he is. A dirty, fucking, druggy perv. And if I ever see him down West Ham, because he comes from Grays, right, which is where my mum lives, and it's just up the road from me. I'm never ever going to mention his dirty bastard name again. But Russell Brand. Oi. You dirty cunt. Yeah, Russell Brand. This is the night shift. The gloves are off. The kids are abed. If you've heard them watching this, what are you doing leaving them online unattended, you fucking idiots? Yeah, you, Russell Brand. And anybody like you, Russell Brand. Your crowd. You're no better than Gary Glitter. Sex offenders. No better than Gary Glitter. And you don't deserve the bread and water that you get in prison, you foul stains on humanity. If I ever so much as catch a whiff of Russell Brand down at Stratford, trying to watch his beloved Hammers, I am going to fucking dark him up for what he done to Katy and what he done to all them other women who all thought they was in on a joke. Only no means no, you dirty fucking bastard. This gets broadcast. This is important. #MeToo is a movement. You dirty bastards of the world. with your online porn addiction and your filthy, dirty, fiddly little hands. I'm after the lot of you. I'm coming for the fucking lot of you pervs. Come anywhere near my fucking kids and I will murder you where you fucking stand. And it is only by the grace of the good Lady Britannia that I hold my sword. Because I am a knight of the realm. On to other matters, similar but different. Sir Gawain was a knight. And Sir Gawain was a good knight. And this good knight was in the feasting halls of his king, when in rode a huge, armed and armoured and vivid green knight. And this huge green knight dismounted his war horse and stormed toward the king. At the sight of which Sir Gawain leapt to his feet and leapt to his king's defence and cut off the Green Knight's head, which fell with a plop on the steps that led up to the king on his throne. The stump of a neck, entrance and exit to the head box of the Green Knight, did not pump blood. The stump of his throat seemed to close. And the body of the Green Knight then moved awake and very much alive, where he bent down at the king's feet to scoop up his huge and vivid green head and plop it back onto his huge and vivid green body. Ha ha! Good shot, knight, said the Green Knight then, his head fully restored. At which Sir Gawain, who did watch with his hand on his hilt, Sir Gawain did step forward to address the Green Knight. Green Knight, what are you doing in the court of the king? To which the Green Knight replied, I had come to test his best. One year hence, I shall return for my shot, brave Sir Knight. At which the vivid Green Knight, who shone a light like the hunter, simply strode up to his war horse, mounted the beast, clicked his heels, and off he did trot on into the morning. Sir Gawain turned to his king, and the king said this, for the defence of your sovereign, I grant you, Sir Gawain, the highest honour of them all. I wish now for thee to be my right hand. And with his left, he handed Sir Gawain his own sword. With this sword, may you strike true upon the Green Knight's return. And so began the year of Sir Gawain, that had started with a beheading and continued on, becoming more and more of a challenge. For you see, there was also another challenge for Sir Gawain to face. In the year he knew that he had, before the return of the Green Knight, before the Green Knight returned to take his shot, Sir Gawain knew that he must find out who this Green Knight was. And Sir Gawain knew that he must scour the land. At every stop, to be continued.